speaking of that, gold. Let's talk about gold. Keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best performing assets of the year. It's just breaking new records every day. It seems like it hasn't slowed down. It hasn't had a pullback. Over $4,100.
Insane.
And
Was that 43?
Yep.
Yeah,
43,
43.
83, 80. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
43,
so
84. Yep.
one thing that Mike Novogratz said, he said he thought it was going to go to 10,000. That was in before this year, last year,
Mm-hmm.
when we said with him, and he said that Bitcoin gold's going to go crazy. He said that like in September of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, how far you think it can go? He said it's going to go to $10,000. He didn't say exactly when or how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
But he said that he's going to go to $10,000, and his rationale was as long as the government keeps printing money, and as long as he said Trump has a history of spending money. And he was like, if history repeats, that's before Trump got into office.
The office. Yep.
So he was saying, hypothetically, if Trump wins the election, government spending is going to go up, not down. And as long as government spending goes up, then the dollar is going to decrease. And that means gold and Bitcoin is going to go up. And man, he hit that nail on. He hit everything that he said was completely right, because if we're spending money, the dollar has gone down at historic levels. Gold is at an all-time high. Bitcoin is going up. It hasn't gone up to that level, which you would have thought as yet of this year, but we still got some more time.
I mean, it hit its all-time high.
Yeah, then it came down. But gold, how far can this thing actually go?
I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. My next target for gold is 4,800. And then after that, we'll probably push to 52, 50 and some change. The reason why, though, like the entire world is risk on, meaning everyone's trying to get gains out of everything. But if you look at the general economy, the job market, instability within banks, geopolitical fighting internationally and inside of the country, there's a lot of things that are going wrong, and you're going to have to watch to see which one turns over first, because everything can't continue to rise at this rate without it being some disaster. I don't want a crash to happen, but I will say things have not been managed well in the country the last few years. So there will be a correction at some point. And if you go back to Ray Dalio's all-weather strategy, even though his real formula isn't in Money Master the Game, one of the core tenets of it is to hold gold as a hedge. But I'm really curious as to how long it's going to take before this market turns over. Once we break 5,000, though, which should be pretty soon, that is going to be a sign of it'll definitely be a warning sign of what's to come. I don't think that gold is going to slow down anytime soon. Should you have it in your portfolio? We've talked about this a bunch of times. Keys has talked about it, but just since 2019, gold was at 1,200. Is now almost at 5,000. That would tell you how much more risk. And going back to debt to GDP, how much more debt and money has been spent. That is one of the main reasons why. And also too, since we came off the gold standard, the value of the dollar has dropped incredibly. Inflation is going higher, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. And like Rashad, like you said, they're not going to, even though they're not doing quantitative easing how they did post Obama, there's still a lot of spending in states and in the nation that won't slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and my last point,
yeah,
they are making it two classes. You're either going to be broke and they're going to push you out of being able to invest in the assets, or you're going to invest alongside them and make tidal waves in your lives financially. Like if you look at how the government is spending, even the investment into Intel, that's very telling that for the first time in history that the president's office is so open about investing and tweeting out what to invest in and how much crypto is going to go up. But most people have been priced out of the assets. I'm just looking at the run up of gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Nvidia. If you were 2 years late, you may be paying 200% more just to get into the same asset class.
So do you buy gold now, or do you just say, I missed it?
You got to wait for a pullback. I can give a price next week if you like. But I think as a hedge, it should almost be mandatory, maybe 10 to 20% of your portfolio. If you have been listening the last few years,
20%?
10 to 20% for sure.
Of your overall portfolio, you said?
Yeah.
It's tricky. Not that, because I mean, we talk about, we had this conversation like before we started the show, but a couple of things, right? Everything that we just said, that was just expressed, I'm with y'all. I agree with it. In fact, this makes it even more of a case why you see Bitcoin continue to rise from where it's at now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And there's this follow theory that they have with gold and Bitcoin, right? Usually as we see gold appreciate, we'll start to see Bitcoin appreciate. Gold has been on a run, continue to be on a run. Bitcoin hit an all-time high and pulled back. But those type of scenarios make it favorable as to why people will continue to invest in Bitcoin. But this idea of risk and fear,
Mm-hmm.
it almost feels very calculated. And we had this conversation Friday. Shadi called me. He's like, "Yo, what are you looking at?" I'm like, "Yo, something's not right. I just don't. Something's not adding up."
Mm-hmm.
Right? When I look at the VIX and I see it get to 27 or 25, usually historically, when we see the VIX start to rise at those numbers, mid 20s up to 30s, we see a harsh pullback in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you look at it, I mean, pick a time. Right? We saw in April was at 59, and we saw what happened with the market. But the market was up 100. Well, the Nasdaq was up 112 points on Friday.
Because everybody's risk on. No, everyone's throwing out a rule.
I'm building a case for you to talk about risk on.
Yeah.
So, and then you look at the fear and greed index, and that's at 25, right? And then most people think in their mind, when people are fearful, be greedy, and when people are greedy, be fearful. And so you have those two factors. Then you have this idea of, hey, there's a crash coming, there's a crash coming, there's a crash coming. You almost put people in a position where they become fearful to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, institutions are running and running and
Mm-hmm.
running and running. And if you've watched the market over the past 2 weeks, for sure, just on a daily basis, it's been volatile. There's ups, there's downs. There hasn't been any steady flow. And it feels like something's supposed to happen, but something's not happening. Right. So you said this, that everybody's risk on. So just unpack that a little bit.
Everyone is risk on, meaning like everyone's not following a playbook. Everyone's trying to maximize gains, and it's in every sector. Altcoins, crypto, tech. I'm getting more messages about rare earth minerals because everyone's looking at how quickly the market is going up, and you don't want to be left out. The downside of that is you have to know which asset classes and what groups they're marketing to be the liquidity for those events. So the government and institutions, and I'm going to be very honest, most institutions don't care if you do well or not, as long as they do well. We're seeing it now. You even seeing it within certain countries using pages out of our playbook against us. I want to tell you, stick to your plan through and through. Even like when I came up with Tech 2 Index, the indexes were the hedge against drawdown if we went down. But now people aren't following price, when to get in, asset class, because they think everything is going to run up 30 to 45%, and that's not the norm. Only the quality assets are supposed to do that. So when you see gold at a high, VIX pushing up, Bitcoin, Ethereum at our highs, Apple hit an all-time high today, everyone's trying to get the most out of the market and not prepared for. I asked someone today, okay, if the market drops 10%, 20%, 18%, are you prepared to know which assets to continue to buy and which ones to get rid of? They're like, no, I'm just trying to get a bag. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. And anytime when they are openly talking about investments to the public, it's not for your benefit. For the first time in history, you really have more money in brokerages than you do banks, and the banks can't even lend at scale because all the consumers are putting the money into brokerages to buy assets. It messes up lending. So,
and all the gold. Yeah, somebody said, what about gold? The GLD definitely is a good ETF.
Mm-hmm.
And then, physical gold, if you want to go to Ghana and do that play. I think that's the next thing I'm going to invest in is physical gold.
Physical. You going to Costco or you going to Ghana?
Ghana.
Okay, send me a text.
Gotta go to the source.
To the source.
Gotta go to the source. Getting it straight out the mud, literally.
With Shaka bars.
Yeah.
We're going to get the box site with the gold in it.
I'm gonna call my guys. Actually, I'm gonna see how much gold is going for out there. They probably can get it for a discount.
Who's calling my phone? Yeah.
The
Got you.
Ghana gold play. You
Mhm.
know, that's where it comes from. That's the Gold
Gold
Coast.
Coast.
That's the
Gold
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 Coast for a reason.
the Gold Coast for a reason.
Yeah, not just Ghana though.
No. But
Yeah.
Ghana's heavy though.
Yeah,
I mean, we know we've been to Guinea. I mean,
we
yeah,
done seen it.
but he said Ghana got way more gold than Guinea.
It's true.
Mhm.
Diamonds too.
Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gold is God's money. That's what they say. It's been proven over 8,000 years, probably longer than that. Gold has been used as currency. It's outlived every form of currency ever, and
Mhm.
it's still here. Over the past 100 years, the U.S. dollar has gone down 98%. During that same time, gold is up 6,000%.
Mhm.
So
And we should have
gold,
never came off the gold standard, but that's another conversation for another day.
you know that.
Mhm.
But yeah, gold has been around since Mansa Musa. Can't stop it.
And for all of you who ask me privately, yo, should I short gold? No. We
No.
have to stop shorting assets that are meant to go up permanently. That's the Dow, that's the NASDAQ, that's the S&P 500, that's gold, that's Bitcoin. You don't short assets that are designed and created to stay up for long periods of time. It's not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of it. Like and when you start to see those headlines and that sensationalism, all the short sellers trying to predict the S&P, just stay focused. Stick to your plan, please.
Stay locked in. And you don't know their
Please.
agenda. They may have a short only fund and they may be pushing to get 9% return, and the headline makes you think the market is going to drop 25%. The market is rigged to permanently stay up. That's all the indexes. That's stay long. Stay long. Japanese Nikkei hit an all-time high. Like, you're not supposed to short these assets. There's trillions of dollars going into them every year to make sure that they stay afloat. Your 100 grand or 300,000 is not going to move that market down.
I told you, I told the story. They said that Ashanti King, they brought a Rolls Royce for a brick of gold 10 years ago.
That's what we got.
Couldn't speak English. Came in the Rolls Royce dealership with a bar of gold, like cashed out.
That's what we got.
Take it.
That's what we got.
The real currency.
You know what I mean?
They're gonna find a way to accept it.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah,
They're
for
gonna
sure.
find a way to accept it.